man named Papillon is attempting to unlock the locker. He succeeds, pilfers the diamonds, and escapes through the window. He goes to his boss, where his boss's men are restraining a badly wounded man. His boss informs Papillon that he did this to the man for betraying him, cautioning Papillon to be careful as well. After handing over the diamonds to the boss, he exits with the money. Papillon waits outside for his girlfriend, Nanette. He presents her with a beautiful necklace and shows her some diamonds he didn't give to his boss. They then go for a walk, enjoy some wine, and have a delightful evening. Nanette suggests they move away and start afresh, but Papillon insists on waiting 6 months to accumulate as much money as possible. However, Nanette rejects the offer, unable to wait another 6 months. Soon after, the door knocks, and the police arrive to arrest Papillon for murder. The victim is the same person apprehended by Papillon's boss the previous night. Nanette claims Papillon was with her all night, but the police disregard her testimony and take Papillon into custody. In prison, Nanette visits Papillon and expresses her desire to appeal his case, but Papillon dismisses it as futile, citing a well-planned conspiracy. He urges Nanette to forget about him, but she insists it's not possible. In prison, a man named Juliet informs Papillon that without money, one cannot escape from there. During a check, Juliet introduces Papillon to Louise Degas, a millionaire who possesses money in prison. The following day, all the prisoners are transported by a massive ship to Devil's Island, from which no one has ever escaped. Papillon approaches Degas during the journey and warns him that everyone is eyeing him because of his money, proposing to do everything to keep him safe in exchange for the funds needed to escape. However, Degas refuses, suggesting it's better to bribe the guards than to trust Papillon. That night, a powerful prisoner attacks another inmate in bed with Degas and steals money. Witnessing this, Degas feels his life is in jeopardy. The next day, Degas informs Papillon that he has agreed to the deal. Papillon kept him alive until his wife's appeal was granted. The same prisoner comes forward to attack Degas the next night, but Papillon does not allow the prisoner to succeed, and the whole cell runs amok. In this case, the guards blow hot steam on them, which injures the assailant prisoner. The next day, the ship arrives at its destination. All the prisoners are lined up to avoid chaos. Juliet injures his leg so he can go to the hospital and find a way to escape. The warden tells all the new prisoners on the island that you are all considering leaving here. You may try as you are all free, but if anyone is seen, they will be shot, and if you escape the bullet, you will starve to death because there is nothing here but thorny bushes. And if you try to flee by sea, there will be hungry sharks waiting for you, and you will fall prey to them. And if you return, you will be in solitary confinement for 2 years. If you attempt to escape a second time, you will be in solitary confinement for 5 years, and you will reside on this island for the remainder of your life. If you commit murder, you will face the same fate. Then the warden leaves. Papillon and Degas have to do a lot of hard work here. While they pull a trolley on a track, Degas tells Papillon that he has diarrhea. As a result, some of his money falls on the track, which Papillon retrieves after much effort. His eyes fall on a man with a boot. Papillon asks him if he can help us get out of here. I'll give you $2,000 in return. The man calls the guard. Suddenly, Papillon says he will provide him with $4,000. And so the man agrees and avoids the guard by saying something else. He says to Papillon, "My boat is on the other side of the river. I will stay here for 3 more days. You can come there anytime, but I will take $5,000 instead of 4. Some of the prisoners on the island know that Degas has money, and they want to steal his money from him, but Papillon saves Degas once again. He fights them and gets injured. Here Degas realizes that he can no longer endure these prisoners. Degas tells Papillon at night that he had no idea this would happen. He thinks as long as his wife gets him out of here, these prisoners will kill him. Now he is ready to go with Papillon. The next morning, Juliet is brought in, who intentionally injured his foot and went to the hospital to escape, killing 2 policemen while fleeing. He is brought before everyone and publicly executed. When Juliet dies, Pepin and Degas are assigned to take his dead body to the forest. They too take the dead body into the forests in the presence of guards. Papillon sees the opportunity and runs away. He jumps into the river and goes to the man who told him he would get him out of here for $5,000. Papillon asks him to help him escape. The man demands money. Pepin says he does not have money, but he will pay twice the amount demanded if he takes him out of here. He assures him that he has a lot of money in Paris, but Papillon's plan doesn't work. The guards stand behind him. The man who has the boot starts laughing and says that even if you had money now, he wouldn't take him out because the warden pays us twice to report people like you. Papillon returns to the same prison. The warden informs him that the guard he ran away from, the one he threw stones at, has met a grim fate, similar to Juliet's this morning, whose lifeless body he intended to dispose of in the forest. He announces that Papillon will now be confined for 2 years at San Joseph Island, with the condition of maintaining absolute silence. Lentil soup is the sole sustenance offered, leaving many weakened or worse. Days later, Papillon discovers a coconut in the water bucket, a gift arranged by Degas through bribery. Papillon receives a portion of coconut daily, until the warden takes notice and demands to know the source. Papillon remains silent, even when his rations are halved, sapping his strength and resolve to escape. The warden returns, pressing Papillon to reveal the sender of the coconuts, but Papillon remains steadfast in silence. His mental state deteriorates, prompting the warden to extend his punishment and confine him further. Papillon languishes there for many days until his mental health declines, leading to a transfer to the hospital. Degas, upon seeing him, expresses regret, acknowledging his role in Papillon's plight. Papillon feigns mental illness as part of a plan to escape. Together with Degas and 2 others, they devise an escape plan, aiming for a Sunday when the guards are occupied. Despite setbacks, including rain, they manage to overpower the guards and procure a boat. However, during the escape, tensions rise, leading to violence. Cellier is fatally stabbed by Degas, and Papillon tosses his body overboard. A storm complicates their journey, ultimately stranding them on a Colombian island, where they encounter the police. Papillon attempts to flee but is apprehended. Sent back to Devil's Island, Papillon faces solitary confinement for 5 more years. Surviving the ordeal, he is eventually transferred to Devil Island High Class, where he reunites with Degas. While Degas has settled into the island, Papillon still harbors escape plans, observing the sea's patterns and devising a plan. He demonstrates his idea to Degas using a coconut, hinting at their eventual escape. Papillon proposes constructing a raft from coconuts to facilitate their escape. Despite Papillon's efforts, Degas decides to remain behind. They ascend to the top of the rock with the raft prepared. Before departing, Papillon embraces Degas and bids farewell. With a final gesture, Papillon launches the coconut raft into the sea and leaps after it. For a moment, Degas fears the worst, but to his surprise, Papillon resurfaces, having successfully navigated to freedom. Though liberated, Papillon cannot return home due to his criminal status in France. In 1969, in Venice, Papillon presents his notes to an editor, detailing his remarkable life story. Approximately 80,000 prisoners endured the harsh conditions of Devil's Island. Many perished as a result. Papillon's memoir becomes a bestseller in France, captivating readers for 21 consecutive weeks. Granted permission by the French government, Papillon, whose real name is Henry Charrier, returns to France. His moniker Papillon originates from the butterfly tattoo adorning his back, as Papillon translates to butterfly in French. The book he authored, also titled Papillon, immortalizes his extraordinary journey. Devil's Island, operational since 1852, was permanently shuttered in 1953, 9 years following Papillon's daring escape. If you like the video, consider subscribing the channel. Thank you.